Radha Gokula Nanda ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shishi Gonitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Viva Jaya Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Sata Shishimat, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Sata Shishimat, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhaktivedanta Manor's online live stream. Huh? Oh, really? What to do? Yeah, we can start. And for those who are watching us online live on YouTube, please do put your comments and questions in the live chat on YouTube, live Bhaktivedanta Manor live, and we are going to try to answer you. Yeah, Don Ruiz, thank you very much for joining. And everyone else that is listening us online, we also suggest to join us. Yeah. Let's start with Jaya Radha Madhava. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihani Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalamba Jaya Girivari Jaya Gopi Janavalamba Jaya Girivari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Rajana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Rajana Jaya Yamuna Tirvanachandri Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tirvanachandri Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Rama Dava Jaya Punjabi Hari Adava Jaya Punjabi Hari Gora Premanande Hare Hare Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sakitanya Agya Ki Jai. Gora Premanande Hare Hare See my channel is in a mess. So let's sort it out. Hare Krishna everyone. Oh. Hi Nasta. Hare Krishna, welcome. Welcome and joining us online as well. We can start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita as it is, from A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and we are reading the verse number 25. You can repeat after me. Jai. Sakta karmanya avidvamso Sakta karmanya vidvamso Yata kurvati bharata Yata kurvanti bharata Kuryadadvams tata saktash Kuryad vidvam tata shaktash Chikirshurlokas Sangraham. Chikirshurloka Sangraham. Sakta Karman Avidvamso. Yata Kurvanti Bharata. Kuryad Vidvams Tata Shaktash. Chikirshurloka Sangraham. Anyone? Shakta Karman Avidvamso. Yata Kurvanti Bharata. Kuryad Vidvams Tata Shaktash. Chikirshurloka Sangraham. Shakta Karmana Vidvamso. Yatka Kurvanti Bharata. Kurvad Vidvyam Tata Shaktas. Chikirshurloka Sangraham. Shakta Karmanya Vidvamso. Yata Kurvanti Bharata. Kuryad Vidvams Tata Shaktash. Chikirshurloka Sangraham. Synonyms: Shakta, being attached. Karmani, in prescribed duties. Avidvamsa, the ignorant. Yatha, as much as. Kurvanti, they do. Bharata, O descendant of Bharata. Kuryat, must do. Vidvan, the learned. Tatha, thus. Ashakta, without attachment. Chikirshu, desiring to lead. Lokasangraham, the people in general. Translation by his and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people to the right path. Purport. A person in Krishna consciousness and a person not in Krishna consciousness are different by different desires. A Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not conducive to development of Krishna consciousness. They may even act exactly like ignorant people, who is too much attached to material activities, but one is engaged in such activities for the satisfaction of his sense gratification, whereas the other is engaged for the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, the Krishna conscious person is required to show the people how to act and how to engage the results of activity, of action, for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadanmayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tamta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Vanamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacham Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebho Namo Namaha Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much for this opportunity to research and prepare something for all of us and to serve in this way. And please also give me your good prayers, and also as more attentive and more enthusiastic the listeners are, the speaker is more blessed. So please bless me, so I can in this way actually even a fool like me can say something useful for and interesting. I will try to repeat maybe many things that we already know in some kind of a manner that I notice it can be connected to this verse, so we can share this verse together. And also, please, the online, you can also use the YouTube chat to share us question, comments, suggestions, or whatever you feel like. So I will repeat the translation again. As the ignorant perform their duty with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachments, for the sake of leading people to the right path. So one sentence kind of that came out for me is that we actually influence ignorant people or people who don't know higher way of life just by our example. This is what I kind of got from this. And then I had few more questions. I had a few questions. I had actually 3 questions about this. What does it mean to be an ignorant person? And I have extracted 5 different ignorance we can be in, to recap from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Second, what does it mean to be learned in this sense? And how does performing one's duty lead others to the right path? Especially if we are not their authorities, in which way are we actually influencing others? If just because we are doing our thing properly, are we actually influencing others? These were my questions. So let's start from the first one. Do anyone knows? It's interesting because we speak about ignorance, because usually we say ignorance about. In which context we say ignorance in our practice?
Speaking, a child is ignorant.
Child is ignorant. So what does it mean somebody is ignorant?
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. Any other comment? So lack of knowledge.
Blind.
Blind.
In many ways. Like,
in many ways.
Turning the blind eye. So not seeing certain things.
So if we don't have if I understood correctly, so if I don't have knowledge what I have to, what is Vaishnava etiquette, if I don't know what Vaishnava etiquette is, then I will be blind to see my mistakes in interaction with other devotees, in a sense. So when I interact with others, I will not understand why is it wrong, because I don't have the knowledge, so I don't have the eyesight to see this knowledge in practice as well. So I don't have the vision as well. Yes, any more comments maybe? What does it mean, ignorance? so that we don't have enough enlightenment in certain topics. We cannot understand this topic. And it's interesting. I don't know if how do you see these guys in our practice here? That the more we get the knowledge, the more we get the insight. Then we understand how to interact, how to act, how to greet the deities, what to do in front of the deities, what not. Should we do prayers? What kind of prayers? So many things, right? Many things that we kind of each month, each day, we learn something more that we kind of gives us out of the ignorance. So, what do you think? How many types of ignorance there is? How many types of ignorance? They're in the Shastra. There are a few amount of categories of ignorance. Social. Okay.
Is that 5?
5. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know the order.
It is 5. Yes. And it is interesting. Bisha started to speak about social ignorance or like categories of ignorance. When we speak about ignorance, Srila Prabhupada, what Srila Prabhupada said, we have so many colleges, so many famous institutions, so many knowledge, but what they cannot solve. The Srila Prabhupada said that people think in modern age that having big institutions of technical knowledge, IT knowledge, that this is knowledge, but what is real knowledge actually? What is actually knowledge? David, Prabhu? You can maybe, I don't know if maybe it doesn't function, I'm not sure.
To have answers to the main questions like who am I, why am I here, and is there a God?
Yes.
Who is God?
Who am I? Why am I here? And who is God? Yeah. This is the real question actually. Even though we said like, why is it so important? Because we are thinking that we came from the ground and we are now, trying to survive the ground level, and then, up, when we survive the ground level and we become expert and famous or whatever, then we're going to speak about up. But actually, soul came from where? From Krishna. If you came from spiritual life, they fall down, and actually it is so that's why Srila Prabhupada explained that we shouldn't be so much, over our heads, understanding the knowledge of the material world as much as the initial knowledge that soul came from. And it's like, who am I? Who am I as a soul? And why am I doing here? Because I see that it is not my place. And many people feel like this, right? So all these 5 types of ignorance is connected with a level of the soul. Because it's really like interesting. We can say like ignorant about, the news in the world, about social status or something, but this is all material. The real ignorance, when we say it's about soul, knowing who is he, who is God, and what he's doing. This is the real ignorance. Everything else is just kind of occupying your mind until you figure out these things. So 5 ignorance, one of them is, first one is, and it's really interesting how they are kind of building up. Actually you start with the first ignorance and you build up to the deeper and deeper ignorance. And also, do you know the first thing when Brahma started to create material universe, what is the first thing he had to develop? Before the jiva started to come, and first thing he had to develop.
Was it illusion? So
Illusion, ignorance,
so
yeah.
all the material nature, like 3 modes.
He first developed ignorance, illusion. Because the moment you come here and you see this place, you will be like, oh, I don't like this, I want to go back. But that's really interesting. At first, he had to build an illusion. And he built these 5 types of illusion, and then he started to develop everything else. So it's really interesting, you know, we have to bewilder the soul, you know. And I have to say that Krishna's biggest trick, the biggest mystical thing he did on the soul is to forget him. Because I was thinking, like, if Krishna is such a wonderful person, how is it possible for soul to forget it? You know, so it has to be like the most profound mystic, like he has to use all of his powers so that we would forget such a person as Krishna. It was be the hardest part, I guess, from all that. So, first, ignorance is tamishra. And this ignorance is called the living entities being eternally part and parcel servitor of the Supreme Lord can never by constitution be equal enjoyer with the Lord. So this is kind of a concept that we can be enjoyers, the equal level like the Lord. We can be Ishvara, not Prakriti. We can be Purusha. This is the first ignorance, that we think that we can be. And when we forget this, however, and try to be, when we forget this, in the end we actually try even to be one with Him, with Krishna. And this constitution is called Tamishra. So we want to be equally in joy with Him, or in the end, this is what Srila Prabhupada is constantly, why is he constantly, we are reading Lilamrita, and people in America, they are like, first time understanding this knowledge of the Vedas, first time reading about this knowledge, and then Srila Prabhupada is always emphasizing, why are we constantly hearing about these Mayavadis? I don't know who these Mayavadis are, but you're constantly attacking them. Why are we giving such a, why are we attacking Mayavadis? Why don't you are not attacking atheists? In America, we have lots of atheists. We don't have Mayavadis here. So why do you write books so much about Mayavadis? Yeah. So what do they say?
I think he mainly wrote so many books because that's what kind of divides us from others. Like Krishna consciousness. So there's the personalism that kind of divides us from the rest. Because a lot of the things, like I feel like, like services and even meditation, things like this, they're amongst other religions. But the only thing that isn't is personalism. So people can still do service, but it's just the end goal is different.
Okay. Anyone? Other comment? Anyone? So why Srila Prabhupada emphasizes Mayavadi and why not atheist? Why is he so attacking, like whenever you read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, he's always attacking Mayavadis?
They're both considered impersonalists, Mayavadis and atheists. The atheist, I don't know, maybe he doesn't. They didn't even think about God. They don't pay any differences. They still have a chance. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that we kind of capture now. As here said that actually if we cannot enjoy like God, we are trying to beat the God. And I know that there is like one of the last tricks of Maya is to make you think that you are God. So just imagine in the future, when spirituality will be really, really important and really popular, it will not be any more fight about the atheist. Atheist will, not be any issue. But will you be like impersonalist or personalist? And actually, what Srila Prabhupada, I also see it as actually a vision for the future, so that it actually neutralizes this last trap of Maya, that we don't fall into impersonalism, and to counteract it immediately. And also because this is the last tendency of this Tamishra. And you know what Srila Prabhupada answered to this devotee when he asked him? He said, because you are a Mayavadi. That's why you ask. I think that Sutapa said that we are kind of a Mayavadi. Inside of us, we are trying to be personal actually with Krishna. You know, whenever you see Krishna, picture that we think of Krishna immediately, not like, oh, picture, oh, blue guy, you know. So, okay, the second kind of ignorance is called tamas. Okay, nothing special about this tamas, right? So, okay, condition of not knowing anything about the spirit soul. So this is what we are actually speaking about, tamas, like rajas, tamas, and sattva. This is the most common because how many people are actually not aware they are spirit soul? They're just like, come on, how much? Most of it.
On the mental, emotional that platform.
And we say about not knowing anything about the spirit soul, not knowing anything about the spirit soul. 99%, Srila Prabhupada at least commented that 99% of living entities are ignorant of their identity as a soul. As much misguided living entities, sex life is the background of material existence. Because, so if they don't know anything about the soul, where will they get their enjoyment? We are pleasure seeking, we don't know we are souls, so we are not doing spirituality. Then let's go for material things. And where we go? For sex desires. So this is the second level. Third level. Anda tamishra. Due to tamas, because we are not know the soul, then considering death to be the ultimate end. Okay? So we don't know. So we want to enjoy, we forget we are a soul. We think that death is the end. And what does that take us?
I guess atheism, like
Atheism.
God doesn't exist.
And
Impersonalism.
enjoy YOLO. YOLO, you live only once. Do whatever you want. Sin, don't worry about the sins. Anyway, you're going to die, you're not going to exist. So do whatever you want. They want to enjoy material life as far as possible during the existence of the body. And they will be ready to do all kinds of sins for that. Then we have moha. That is number 4. Increased illusion of the bodily concept of life. Going deeper into this concept of I don't know what the soul is, trying to enjoy material life, sex life, and being afraid of the death, what the whole world is put into moha. Sectarian societies, family and nationalism are created and they fight with one another. So we identify with the body even more and then we identify with the nation. So not even more, humanity, but nation. And then the next one, the last one is Mahamoha. Mad after material enjoyment. Accumulating paraphernalia for material enjoyment. So do you remember last time you were giving so much emphasis and effort to get something, to order something from Amazon and you got it and you were arranging so elaborate arrangements so you can get something and you will try to, get a massage with it or I don't know what is that, So you will try to enjoy this material thing. This is it. This is accumulating paraphernalia for material enjoyment. Accumulating money so we can material enjoy. Okay? This is 5 types of ignorance. We want to enjoy as same as Lord. We don't know we are a soul. Sex is the best. Death is the end. And, my nation against your nation. And where can I buy more sense gratification? Okay. So who are then the learned? If they are the ignorant, who are the learned? Yes. So those who know who they are, that they are the soul, they are not physical body, right? Is it? And they're not perplexed about this, they know how to act and what they should do and how to offer everything to Supreme Personality of Godhead and not get entangled even more, right? Exactly. And this is what also Keshava Kashmir comments. So it's like a spiritual wisdom, being able to discriminate between the soul and the physical body, is not perplexed and should act in an exemplary manner to inspire the public to perform prescribed Vedic actions as a matter of duty without attachments to the good of society. And there in the purport, Srila Prabhupada said there is one difference between these two people, ignorant and learned. One word. What Srila Prabhupada said in the purport. What is the fundamental difference? Yeah. Anyway. Devotion, okay. One word that he was using in the purport. It's connected in some way, yeah? Self-realization. Yeah, something specific. Something, what is driving them differently?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah, just say it please, because I think that doesn't function this. Desire. Desire. So Srila Prabhupada say they have different desire. One have difference, well, in ignorance they have desire for sense gratification. And learned have a desire for knowledge, elevation, for devotion. So tell me, I have a question for you. So if I perform my duty, actually, before, can you tell me an example of a person on the Kurukshetra field that are doing the same thing with different desires? Arjuna and Duryodhana, isn't it? They are the fighters, they have the same weapons, armies and everything. And what is desire of Duryodhana? Kingdom. Sense gratification, expand. And this is the difference between, they say, what is the difference between demigods and demons? It's not because of physically they can look the same. Physically they can look effulgent, the same, strong, charismatic. But the difference is, who do they rely on? Demons rely on their own strength. And demigods rely on the supreme power. And Krishna and Arjuna, he is fighting for Krishna. Okay? So this is an example. So tell me, in which way actually are we, if we kind of show by example, you're in the, let's say in company, they are like, you're the only devotee there. And you're working there without attachment, showing by example. How are you influencing anyone? Why would you, are you actually showing by example? Why would anyone notice you, what you're doing? They see your mood, okay. So how do we preach? How do we preach? How do they say, like, preach, 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 and sometimes? How do they say, like, preach, 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 and sometimes? If you need, speak. Why? Because show by example, show by example, show by example, and sometimes when they ask you, then you actually say something as well, right? So I was just thinking, like, four different reactions people can have if they see you working in a company as a detached, focused. You're like seemingly doing the same thing, but people will notice a difference. People will notice a difference. Something is different in this person. He is never frustrated like every one of us. He is always focused. He's always self-satisfied. He's always in a good mood. He always likes to help. But he doesn't feel and he's never kind of mistreated. Everybody respects him. So I found like 4 different things that can happen. One of the crucial things why it's important to show by example, even though nobody changes. Maybe you don't see it. Maybe we don't see the change. But we are giving a people another option they never knew that it existed. If you see a spiritual person, it's like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the West, people saw something completely different in him. And they were attracted to it. Because they never saw this option before. Never. And they knew this is something that we were searching for. So even though nobody became a devotee in the company because of us, people will have an impression, and especially if they know who you are, they will have an impression. Next time when they see devotees on the street, oh yeah, they are those guys. Yeah, I remember Pritan from our company. Yeah, oh my God, it's like, yeah, it was because of you guys. Yeah, you have a book, really? I don't know, what is it about? So we are showing an option that they would never know it exists. And they will be in complete ignorance, totally thinking that everything is about sex and whatever, all of these things. So this is, it is livable life and it is concrete life. Some of them are going to even be inspired, and even take spiritual life as well. Probably smaller amount. Somebody will be disgusted and envious because you're showing me other path, and I know that you're endangering my concept of life. It's like when you stop drinking, and then people are asking, like, why did you drink? Why is it wrong to drink? What, you say that I'm wrong because I drink? No, I just don't. No. Why don't you drink? You should drink as well. Because we feel ashamed. Yeah, actually, because people feel ashamed. They know that they're doing something wrong, but if there is no one, they don't feel guilty. And probably there will be also people that just don't care, and they're focused on their own tamas. Their own tamas, different tamas. So, in the sense, my conclusion of this verse is that we influence people by our example very much, even though nobody became a devotee, even though we don't see immediate reactions, we don't see the results. But showing by example, having Vaishnava etiquette, as Sutapa said, if somebody saw me in the karmic clothes in the street, would they see me and say, oh, this is something different about this person? It is not because of the dress and tilak, dhoti, but it's because of his, consciousness. So what I took from this is that we should show by example, and we're going to influence people whether we want it or not, whether they want it or not. People have 5 types of tamas, and most of them are in deep moha tamas. And that we, knowing what is the difference of the body and soul, we are actually acting in the way to offer everything to Krishna. Doing the same activity even, but in totally different consciousness. So that's why even in our spiritual practice, it's not about externals, it's about how to develop the internal urgency to serve. Urgency to fully serve. Sometimes I feel like, if I would go to the big business place, I would work so hard for them to get some money. Why wouldn't I, work for Krishna hard? Why, I'm so leisure here. So, yeah. And emphasize we are speaking about Arjuna and Duryodhana, how they are like the same thing doing in a different manner. And how we actually are opening up an option to people just by our example. Just showing that there is another way. And it will stay in their consciousness. Any comments, questions? Yes, please, just we can say it like this. Yeah? Mm. In spiritual life. Mm. Really nice point. David Prabhu said how impersonalists that are kind of really convinced that we are all God, it is really hard to get rid of that, and especially it's really hard to then go to the right path of spirituality after that. So Srila Prabhupada wanted us to not fall in that trap, and it's actually better to be atheist and then convinced to be a devotee than impersonalist. Yeah, it's a really tricky. Thank you for that. Yeah. Is that it? Anything else? If you have or not, yeah. Yes? We know microphone, please. Mm-hmm. Hmm. So if I understand you said that people that are not practicing Krishna consciousness, they have a trauma from material real life? Okay. A blockage, you can be like how to reconcile it. I mean, yeah, especially, I have to get through, no intoxication, all my main sources of enjoyment, which is actually pain, and now you want to take it away from me so I can to do something it looks boring and and you have to serve others, like what is that? Yeah, it's kind of a I guess it starts with kind of shifting the paradigm of what what enjoyment is and how to enjoy properly, because all of them, all of us had experience of being in goodness, being in peace, enjoying in different ways. Everybody once a while they went to the nature and they just enjoyed the peaceful, calm place. They want to go to the beach and be so it's like all of us had all of this experience, or even our glimpses of spiritual life. We just have to remind them and just said, like, imagine that you're just doing that all the time. That's it. And you don't have a headache, or whatever. And yeah, and especially to let them know that being bored, it's a suffering. If you are bored, if you are depressed, if you're in anxiety, if you cannot sleep, and all these things that I'm bored, it's normal thing. No, it's not normal thing. It's a suffering, state of suffering, because it's not comfortable. You see? So it's like a nice argument to speak with them. But if you have any questions, we can give it later. I would finish this class here. For one more thing I would like to finish for tonight. So then we can continue maybe in the corridors or something. So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to semi devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Bo. Jai Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.